Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to the Survival Renovation Series. However, this video is it's gonna be a bit different. First off, Henry's not on the world. He's off doing other things. But I got a few requests for a world tour, and we're getting somewhat far in the series, and I still haven't really showed y'all what our world actually fully has on it. And I mean, I've shown a good bit of it, but I thought I should wrap it all into one video just so y'all have an idea of how we get our other resources off camera to do the building and stuff that we do on camera. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna start with my bunker area, and then we'll move on from there. So this is my bedroom. I might have showed this like an episode or two ago. We're on episode 14 right now. I'm gonna count this as episode 14 actually, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna name it that. So there might not actually be an episode 14, but we'll just say this is it. And it's not like a monumental stepping stone in like the series right now, and that's normally when people put like a world tour, but I never really did an original world tour, and this world started before I was making YouTube videos of it, so that's why I feel like this video is kind of necessary. Okay, so this is my bedroom. I don't actually have a name for my cat right here. If anybody wants to name it, feel free to just comment that, and I'll look at the suggestions. Otherwise, we've got just a very basic bed. I made it like a little modern, sleek kind of design. And I lined that headboard with emerald blocks because I love these emerald blocks. Like, that design, come on. That looks so sick. And then I've got my favorite painting in the game, which is the Wither painting. And I think it's the colors. I'm not really sure. The Wither is kind of a weird creature, so it's not really the fact that it's the Wither that I like it. It's very aesthetic looking. Alright, so then on this side we've just got my little armor stand with chainmail armor. Because I've always liked chainmail armor because I don't know, the other OGs playing before you were able to get it into survival mode, we appreciate it because it wasn't there for a while. It was only in creative mode for the longest time. So now that I can get it, I always put it on display. And especially because it's enchanted. I pretty much just got this from our zombie farm, and I've just put it here to just, I don't know, flex or something. And then this is a health potion. I'm not big on using potions. I definitely need to get more in the habit of that. But since I had another potion laying around from I think an Ender village, I just went ahead and plopped it in that guy's hand and put him in this little majestic position right here. And then we got a little tool rack where the tools are kind of hanging down. I would ideally like the stairs to be upside down and so on, because then it would actually look like they're hanging, but right now it's just like a floating block. But for now, it gets the point across. So that's it for my bedroom. And right outside of my bedroom, we have a little living room. And this living room is just a really simple little, just cozy room. I really like the ceiling on this room just because it's got those nice beams, and man, wood beams are they're awesome. But okay, so over here we have our Pillager banners. Countless times that they've gotten our way and we had to kill them. So I've developed a nice amount of these. Over here we got the Jukebox for the times that I like to listen to tunes. I currently only have the gold disc, which I'm not sure the name of it. Actually, let me check. Do I have inventory? Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I honestly thought that was a different disc, but I guess not. Okay, so then we got we're not gonna have that. Okay, so I put a book over here in an item frame just because I thought that was kind of cool. You know, like it kind of looks like it's sitting over here on the just this little table. And I think if I put a pressure plate here, it might hide most of that item frame. So I need to try that out. But for right now, it kind of looks like a little table thing or something. We got the dragon head because it kind of looks. It's kind of how people have animal heads in their houses. So you know that was a feat for the world. So I had to put that on display somewhere. Then I just got a map of the overhead. So that's actually where we are right now, that little green dot. And this is, let's see, what side is this? Is it, I think that's the front gate side. I'm not completely sure because this is before we redid the wall. So it's really curvy and I don't exactly remember the shapes of where it was at the time. But I believe that's the front gate. Oh no, it's actually it's the right gate. So if you're facing the front gate, it's the gate to the right side. That's where this is. But yeah, so that's a little memorabilia because it hasn't been updated. And then I just got this little fireplace, and that's about it for my little cozy room section. The rest of it gets very uncozy very fast. So I guess we'll start over here with my little prison. I've actually got 6 villagers that are being held captive here, and I think my favorite one is this guy. Oh no, this guy right here. Nope, that was wrong as well. It was this guy. This is my favorite because he's got these 2 enchantments right here. Like these, come on, you can't beat that. 16 emeralds for a diamond chestplate, like that's so easy to get. I could literally like input maybe 2 stacks of coal and get a diamond chestplate. Like that trade-off is just insane. So and I think that's our best trader. I haven't really gotten all of them fully upgraded like that guy, but I've gotten some of them and we get decent trades. I think this guy has XP bottles, that's nice because you can't actually craft those. But yeah, so I just have 6 right now. I'm thinking about expanding these in the future, this direction, but we'll just have to see about that. I'll go ahead and cover the top of the mob farm, just since it's right here, and I can look down into it. But this is our mob farm down here, and I'll get to where it deposits later. It doesn't work too well right now. I think I've got to light up some caves and whatnot, because they're spawning other places. A few will spawn here, and when I first made it, a lot spawned here, but then quickly they died off and they kind of stopped spawning here. So I have to mess around with that and see if I can fix it. But for now, it's still a really cool room, and it has a lot of potential. And this is just how I got my villagers down here, by boat. Okay, so moving on. This is my little, I don't really have a name for this room. It's like my abandoned cave room it's got a little pond, and like it's just, one day I was like, what could I add to the world? Because this was before I started making videos that I made this. I was like, what could I add to the world that would just be different and just custom? Because sometimes I like doing really like unique builds. And I was like, I have an underground bunker. What if I put a bridge underground with vines and stuff? And that's exactly what I did. Originally I just dug a big square out, and then I filled in the corners with stone and cobblestone to just kind of add textures and layers. And then I came back in with vines, mossy cobblestone just to tad it. And then I got bushes and then the water and stuff. And when I was building it, I actually left a lot of like natural resources that were here. I left the diorite, and I think there's like coal. Yeah, there's coal over here. So none of that was placed. I just left it when I was mining it all out. Alright, so we'll climb back up here. Alright, moving on. So this is our little central hub. And this is where I get to every corridor in my bunker. The entrance is over here up this ladder. And when I come down, I have my ender portal, my Nether Portal over here, and this is for transportation. We'll get to that later in the video. But over to the right, we have my auto fish farm. However, I'm on Xbox, so it doesn't work quite as well as it would on like PC with an auto clicker and whatnot. So I haven't really gotten this like a good use out of this. So this might be gone in the future and I might replace it with something more useful. But that's all that's over here. And it's really like a non-artistic room. Like it's just cobblestone. Like, yeah, that needs some work. So I don't know what I need to put there, but I'm sure I'll think of something. Okay, so now if we move over here, we have, actually, let me cover this real quick. I just want to say that this room is so sick to me because you can see all the way up to all the way down in the bunker, like 3 stories. And I just think that's such a cool, like, perspective. I don't know why, but I had a really fun time building this. Okay, so now let's go in here. So this is my workshop. Originally when I made it like this to be as efficient as possible. And real quick, I'm hoping that those cows and sheep aren't too loud. I tried to tweak the game volumes to where they'd be a little more quiet and not near as loud because in my most useful redstone contraption, I believe the name was, they were so loud in that video, and I was like, I gotta tone these down for this video because I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking. So hopefully those aren't too loud. If not, I'll just try and speak up and talk over them. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Making this room, I try to make it as efficient as possible so that when I'm in here, I can get in these chests and I can turn around and I can use like all my workbenches that I need. So I got my anvil over here. I got furnaces for just on the go, like smelting. I have these are basically miscellaneous chests, except for a few. They're like I have them slightly organized. Like this is mob droppings. This is wood, armor and shulker boxes, end supplies, food, nether supplies, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bamboo kind of things, like sugarcane and bamboo and whatnot. Then we've got just building supplies. This is the most used chest out of all these. Don't ask me what this one is. It's a long story. Tools and saddles and leatherworks, kind of basically. And then this little hopper right here is actually a depositor that deposits bamboo right here from my bamboo farm. So I'll quickly go up and show you my bamboo farm, and then we'll come right back down and get to the rest of my... I think Siri heard me. Meanwhile, I'm dying. Okay. That does happen. If any of y'all have been watching the Survival Renovation Series, you know that this thing is a mess, but for some reason I don't change it and I keep working with it. So I think it's going to stay like this for a while and maybe ever. But yeah, so let me just quickly run over here. So this is my sugar... Did I say sugarcane farm the whole time? I'm going to say bamboo farm. This is my bamboo farm. It's just a little hole in the ground, and you can't actually access it from the inside of the bunker because it just deposits in that one chest that I showed you. And it's kind of wasteful, as you can see. Like some of the bamboo doesn't get in, but it definitely puts a lot of bamboo into that chest. And basically how it works is there's 2 observers on this side, and once that last row grows up to the observer, the whole row of pistons shoots out and cuts them all down. For some reason, this one always grows first. I'm not really sure, or like the highest. I'm not really sure why. And this one always grows the least. Not really sure why. I'm thinking that maybe this one grows up first. It cuts it, and then maybe the rest cut. I don't know, but it works. And that's just a deposit system that uses the hopper minecart and deposits into a chest, which then goes into another depositor, which brings it to that other chest I have. Just in case I don't, empty that one chest out, it won't back up because I actually have a double chest for it to back up into, so I won't lose any bamboo. All right, so back to the workshop. I've got a little trash can right here using a comparator looping into a dispenser, or maybe a dropper. I forgot, but it's one of the two, and I mean, you get the idea. So it's a trap chest, so I can put items in. Let's see. I can put items in, but they won't actually like disappear until I close the chest. Now I actually want those cobblestone stairs, so I'm gonna take them back out. And then I just put a nice alarming trash logo so nobody accidentally tries to store something in there. Anybody being Henry, but because he's kind of the only other person that really gets on this world and plays. Okay, moving on. I have a little window right here that just shows my minecart that goes to my item sorter over here. We'll get to that in a second. We got the enchantment room, the usual. And then we got my cartographer over here. I hauled him in by boat. That sounds awful, but yeah, I hauled him in by boat, and I put his little cartography stand, and he's got those paper trades, and these paper trades are where it's at. Like I just got that incoming sugarcane from a sugarcane farm, which I will show you later. But so I'm cranking out paper and just feeding it to him, and he's giving me all those emeralds, and it's amazing. I would definitely recommend trapping a villager in your house. Y'all didn't hear that from me. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just act like this wasn't here. Okay. So this is the item sorter. Now, in the background, the cows are really loud in my ears, so I'm really hoping that y'all can't hear them as much as I can. But this is the item sorter. All of I've never actually counted how many items there are, but I pretty much made all the essentials for mining. I've got cobblestone, gravel, granite, diorite, andesite, dirt, stone, sand, redstone, flint, lapis lazuli, sticks, leather, logs, and iron, gold, and coal. And these three are special. Again, I will get to that in a second. But for now, I want to show you the back workings of this, even though I've showed it in a few different episodes. But this is that minecart system that deposits into the main chest from my mine. This is all the circuitry for the actual sorting system. I do have a tutorial on that, which I will hopefully remember to put a card in the top right corner. So click on that if you want to learn how to build this. And then this is just an overflow chest, just in case I put an item that can't be filtered out. It'll just go into this chest right here. All right, so that's the circuitry for, not much of circuitry, but it's, I guess you can call it circuitry for the item sorter. Now, we'll move downstairs. Tying into downstairs, these three right here are actually going into hoppers. I don't know if you can see those hoppers right there, but these are actually funneled down into a furnace, as well as the coal, which automatically smelts these. So that's why there's nothing in here. It's because they automatically go down. I have a surplus of coal, so it's actually backed up all the way through the hoppers into this chest. And so unlimited coal for days. So if I head down here, you'll see this is actually where the system deposits my iron ingots and gold ingots right here. I'm running a little low, I know, but we're gonna get to mining or something soon. I would like to build an iron farm. However, that's more of a task than I'm willing to do right now while I'm expanding the city and whatnot. So we'll get to that in the future. And just for you, just for those who are curious, I'm gonna quickly tear down this wall just so you can see what is happening here. So right above, let me tear one more. So that hopper, and there's one more hopper right there. That's all coming from those chests up on the floor above us. The gold ingot, the gold ore and the iron ore both get deposited into this double chest right here. Now it does mix them together, but that doesn't really bother me. And if I really wanted to, I could separate them again, but it's not that big of a deal. And I'm not rolling in that much iron and gold, so it doesn't really affect me. The coal gets put in a second hopper right next to this chest that just goes straight down past all this, straight into the furnace. For a furnace to work automatically, the hopper must be going into the right. Well, I think it just has to be going into the side for it to actually go into the coal spot, or else it will go into the top spot right here, and that's no good. So just if you're going to build this, make sure you put it in the right side. And then that's where all the ores go. And then we have one more hopper that just drags them out of there, puts them in here. Now you may be wondering, why do you have a normal furnace and not a blast furnace? Well, actually, I have my blast furnace in here because since this furnace has unlimited coal, I've ended up using it as just to smelt everything. I'll just throw like cobblestone in here if I want stone and so on. So that's why I have the normal furnace, because a blast furnace wouldn't smelt things like cobblestone and whatnot. And I actually have another blast furnace right here. I think I just needed to get rid of that one. I can't remember, but I put it there. So that's a little secret. So now let me repair this really quick, and we'll move on. All right. So if we quickly turn around, I know, torches, ugly, but they will be changed soon. Don't worry. I just had a surprise creeper spawning that almost blew up this whole system, and I really had to take precaution the minute that happened. But what's happening here is we've got another item sorter actually. Now this item sorter sorts out my mob droppings from my mob farm that I showed y'all earlier. Now we've gotten pretty decent results, but nothing spectacular, and I'm really hoping that I can figure out how to get this thing working much better. So I'll quickly just show you the little behind the scenes for this system. So this is where the minecart comes up. It comes up all the way from bedrock. It actually perfectly landed a block above bedrock for the fall height for the mobs. But this is just a spiral minecart staircase that goes all the way down. And to power all the powered rails, I just ran a tower of redstone blocks through the middle, because powering them any other way was just too much. So I have that, and then this is just all the wiring for the second item sorter. So that's all that's happening right there. Eventually I'm going to connect this item sorter to the item sorter above, so that if I put things like rotten flesh and whatnot in the other item sorter, it will come down and sort down into this one as well. For right now, I can't do that, but that will be happening soon. Okay, so I'll just quickly dig through this wall. Okay, so as you can see, there are no mobs in here. There is, I believe, 2 bats, but that's not what we want. So this is the mob farm. They spawn here on these platforms. They think there's a block here, even though there's not. It's just a little trick. They fall in, and they fall to their deaths. And as you can see, there's some hoppers down there. That's what picks them up and brings them back to the top, or their parts of them back to the top. And you may be wondering why there's a chest over there. So behind that chest, there's actually a cave system. And I actually just discovered that while mining all this out. And there is a skeleton spawner in that cave system. That skeleton spawner, I will be making a full spawner for that system. For that dungeon eventually. So I had to mark it somehow, and the only thing I had that I could use was a chest. So that's there for right now. And then this is that little circle that we were looking down into from above earlier, which originally this was going to be a creeper farm, and I began digging it down, and then I changed my mind and put this here instead. So that's just a little remnant of what was to come before. Alright, so I do realize this is going to be a long episode, but there's not really any shorter way for me to do this, so I just feel like I'm going to cover it, and it's going to take the time it needs. I would prefer to make it shorter if I could, but I don't think that's possible. So I'm sorry about that, but you can just fast forward through if you really want to, just to get a glimpse of everything, or if there's something in particular that you've been wondering what the story is behind it. Hopefully we covered it. Okay, so right here I have plans for a little design there, so that's why that's mined out. But if we go over here to the right, we have the annoyance that you can hear from every single block in this bunker. This is my sheep and cow farm. When I originally built this, which wasn't that long ago, I did not think about the effects it would have on my mental health. So I've currently been struggling with this, and it takes everything to not come down here and just slaughter all of them. Alright, so moving on, we've got a ravine right here. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do with this, but I'm going to do something with this in the future. We just stay tuned for that. And so now, if we move on this way, this is the agriculture room. So I covered this in another video, but basically what happens here is my melons grow and my seeds sit in chests. I got all my chests for any form of agriculture and whatnot, and I know there's a lot that still isn't here, but there's only so much you can do. Okay. And then over here we've just got little windows that shine into my I think I called this the water cave room or something like that. But yeah, y'all know what that is. Okay, so now we can finally move on to Henry's half of the bunker. So originally I started out with my portion of the bunker, and then I think Henry just liked the idea of having a little bunker underground. So he dug a bunker down to the right side, and somehow, without trying to, he actually put it on the perfect level of mine, so we were able to merge them together. And we do this by the little divider is our mining staircase. And this is our minecart track that goes to our stables. So if I just walk through here, this is officially where Henry's base starts. And this is like where mine starts. So this is just kind of our shared section. Henry's little place, he could give you a more detailed tour on this, but I'll do my best to give y'all the tour. So he's just got some chests throughout here. He's got a lot of books. Oh shoot, I'm already vandalizing. So I'll just be kind of like glancing in all the chests just to, give y'all an idea of what's there. But he's got his Pillager banners just hung all around for decoration. But then we move into here, and this is a little workshop. He's got his brewing stand, his stone cutter, all the essentials, a bell. I'm gonna have to get on to him about that dirt right there. That's unacceptable. All right. And then, dang, he's got a lot of storage. Oh wait, never mind. He actually just built an item sorter. That's why he's got all that storage. But look at that. That boy is, dude. He got tons of stuff. Okay. Ooh, redstone chest. Dang. He's got some good stuff. I actually did not know that. I'm not gonna steal, but I'm definitely tempted to. Okay. In here he has some more chests, which are empty, with more smelting area. And so then if we walk back over this way, this is actually just the entrance. I'll just quickly show y'all what's happening up here. It enters below a house up on the main world. Just a little. It's cool. It's kind of like a Prohibition bar, if you've ever seen pictures of those. But it gives me that vibe, and I just think it's a cool little design. But if we head back down, we'll go into the lower section right over here. Down here is where he's got his item sorter. So he just constructed this, and that's why all of his chests are empty upstairs, because he was able to filter everything down here and get it all sorted out. So Henry did his a little different. He added 2 stories of storage, which as y'all saw is I'm adding them in as I go, but he's already prepared. So he's got thousands and thousands of items of storage right here. And I believe that's everything for down here. A nice design. I believe this was actually a cave that he built this item sorter in before he put the walls up. And I think that's why we can hear so many monsters right here. Wait, maybe that's where my monsters are spawning from my monster farm. I'll do some research on that off camera. Okay, so I'm gonna tour the mine now because that's a quick one, and then we can move on to some more interesting things. All right, so this is our mine. We have dug so much under our world. As you can see, this pathway is endless, and this pathway is endless, and this pathway is endless. I'm pretty sure it was either this way or this way, but Henry counted it and it was like over 1,000 blocks. Just ridiculous. And then we also grid pattern it. If you saw my How to Find Diamonds video, we turn it into little chunks. So that video was actually filmed down that direction. But so it is just a maze down there. I've gotten lost so many times, and that's why I actually put these blocks here, so I'd have some sense of direction, because there have been times where I go down, I take a right, I take a left, and I do like circles for like an hour until I find my way. But so that's that. Then over here is our little hub station. We have a crafting table, a daylight sensor, and an ender chest for just to see what time it is. This was actually mainly for when we were getting zombie villagers from a spawner way over yonder, and we were getting them up, and we didn't want to bring them to the daylight if it was daytime where they would burn up. So we used this to make sure that it was nighttime. And then we've got the ender chest. So this is where I put my diamonds, because I don't have a sorter for it, because I didn't want to waste 41 diamonds in the sorter. And then this is also where I put my emeralds and books, because I don't want them to be stolen. However, I don't know who's going to steal them, but y'all get the idea. Okay, so. Oh, yeah, and I do have to say it. I do have a secret chest on this world. However, unless I slip up one day, it's going to be a secret forever. I'm sorry. Okay. This chest right here is my deposit chest. So everything I put in this chest, wait, I'm going to just give an example. I'm going to put that cobblestone in there. And I don't know if y'all saw that, but the hopper minecart just came down. It's going to sit right there, take it all out, and then in a second, yep, there it goes. It's going to go back up to the top and deliver that into my item sorter. It's an amazing system. I definitely recommend building it on your world. I've got a few different videos that will show you the 2 different parts you need to build that. So go watch those. And yeah. All right. So next, to finish this off, we have this tunnel. This is just one big, huge tunnel that Henry dug at the beginning of the mine when we first got down here, because I actually, it was a miscommunication, and I actually told him, I believe it was, he thought I meant level 6 on the, like, how do I describe this? Level 6, like, coordinates wise. So he thought I was talking about level 6, as you can see in the top left corner, level 6. But what I actually meant is 6 blocks up from bedrock, because we were trying to find diamonds. So he ended up doing all this mining, and unfortunately, it was all kind of for nothing. And then we ended up counting up 6 or 7 blocks and putting it right here, the actual diamond level. So that's why that's down there, if anybody was curious, because I've never actually explained that to anybody. Alright, so now we're going to move up to the surface. Okay, so this is my little piston system. Hopefully it works this time. And look at that, it did. However, there is still a little technique, and if you don't do the technique, then you will suffocate and die if you don't have a pickaxe. But on the bright side, people who aren't supposed to be down here will suffocate and die. So this is one of the many villagers that lives in my house up here. I have a very, very spacious house up here, as you can see, and I mean, it's a little secret. You're supposed to hit the button, and then you drop down, and you get the idea. So this is my humble abode. It is a very small little, just villager house that I have swapped the woods and materials to make it look nicer and blend in with the city. And then I just made a whole underground, like kingdom down here. So this is the skylight that actually goes through the great room. Oh, and I forgot to mention that got 2 more dragon heads just chilling right there. But yeah, it's really cool to me to think that the whole kingdom under all this is my underground bunker. I've actually tested it out, and the bunker actually goes all the way past the gate over there, and they pass the wall in this direction as well. I don't believe it goes too far in this direction because Henry's base is over there, and this direction it doesn't go too far because of the sugarcane or the bamboo farm. Okay, so enough talk about the bunker. Let's move into the kingdom we've got above. I'm gonna start at the front gate. Actually, I'm gonna start outside of the front gate, and then we'll move inward. All right, so right outside the front gate, we have this little cobblestone box that is the biggest eyesore in the world, and I still need to cover it up. I'm gonna blend it into the mountain and make it invisible, but for now, it's still here. But if you walk down in this dirt hole over here, there's tons of sugarcane, and it just runs back and forth and deposits sugarcane down into that chest. And I'll just give you all a little glimpse of what's happening here. Same concept as my my bamboo farm, except it's individual, so there's an observer for each one. And then it just flows into the water, which there's signs under that water, so it can just drop through the water straight into the minecart, the hopper minecart, and flow into the chest. So that's all that is. Okay, so then over here we have our Cobblestone Highways. So originally, before we were doing the YouTube series and we had any goals, I had a huge surplus of cobblestone, and I was wondering what I should do with that. So what I actually did is I made a road, and it just goes and goes. And I did this in this direction as well as that direction over there. And that direction goes to our stables, which we'll get to in a minute. But I'm not going to go too far this way because it just goes. But I just did this so it would be really easy for us to transport our horses. And this was before we mainly traveled through the Nether at this point. And hopefully, my plan is to make these much more aesthetically pleasing and landscape the whole kingdom out here once we finish all of our outskirts and whatnot. Okay. I love that chimney. I think that's so cool. Alright, so let's get into the kingdom. So this is our front gate. If anybody has watched the first episode of the Survival Renovation Series, you know that this is just completely different than what it used to be. This used to be just a simple wall. It basically looked like this. And we went through and completely redid it. And I think it turned out amazing. Like, I love this design. And yeah, it just turned out exactly how we wanted it to. So if we go inside, which if you press this button, this is our little gate mechanism. That just goes down. So we'll cover the inside of the gate real quick because it's just a small little interior. So between some of the walls, we have this little inner wall passageway. And this is just a nice, easy way to go from tower to tower, just in case there's like a raid or something and you don't want to put yourself out there in danger for whatever reason. Okay, so here we're in the towers on the first level. And this is just the wall level where you can, this is where the archers would be. This is where you can shoot mobs with your bow and arrow. And from here, you can make your way to the middle of the gate and climb up this ladder. And you have two rooms, one to the left, one to the right. There's nothing in the room to the left. We still haven't decided what we want to put in here. But for the room to the right, we have this is our armor equipping station. Or no. Our war preparation station. That's what we called it. It's got a nice ring to it. But so we have these little chests here so that when the pillagers come and they annoy us, we will be able to throw all of our extra items into one of these chests and go out and fight them with just like a sword or whatnot, so that we can pick up all the emeralds and all the loot they drop without losing any. Because there's been times where we have a full inventory because we're working on a building, and then we're trying to fight them off at the same time, and we either die and that drops everywhere, or we just aren't able to pick up like any of the loot and it's basically useless. And then I just have a shulker box in here for extra loot. It just makes it easier to haul back to my bunker. All right, so that covers the main gate. Now moving on to the towers. So I'm just gonna show y'all this tower because, well, besides one tower that's different over there, but this tower is it's basically the same as all the other towers. You just got your basic standard 2 entrances from the wall. Some have a basement, some don't. But if you climb up this ladder, you've got a nice vantage point. You can climb out to the outside and actually shoot all the way down under. And you have 360-degree views, and on this one you can actually just climb onto the roofs and walk around. But and then we have these little antenna looking things here because we're actually going to put our banners here when we develop enough wool from our wool farm to make those. So I think the kingdom will look really cool once those are done. All right, so now let's go back over here. We'll start in the actual city. So to our left we have my only villager building inside the main city walls. This is the only one I built, and I built it I think 3 or 4 episodes ago. Not exactly sure, don't quote me on that. But yeah, I really like how this building turned out. It's the exact style that I wanted, and I feel like it just matches that old village kingdom kind of theme perfectly. So we'll just do a quick run through of the inside. I tried to put every workstation right here so I'd have all these high class villagers here. And I'm sure that these guys have great trades. Oh, I can tell he is going to be a good one. I need to make sure he stays alive. Okay, so this is just a little kitchen. I tried to make it rustic and cool and whatnot. And we got a little furnace for warmth, chest. If we run upstairs, you got your bed. Oh, little lag spike right there. This is your little balcony where you can view off into the city. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this this house. It's not much, but I really like it. Oh, wow. Across the street from this house is the church. So I also built this church. I'm really proud of this church because both of these buildings are a new style for me. I've never really been one to build medieval things. However, it's like one of my new favorite things to do. I just really like how they all flow. But I'm used to building like city things. However, y'all don't know that because I haven't uploaded any videos of that. But I have a creative world where I've made a lot of city creations, and I'll probably start reviewing those soon and giving little tours on them. So stay tuned for those. But so that's why I was very proud of this church, because it was just a different build for me, especially merging like a castle wall into a roof design. Wait, I don't know if you can see that right here. I thought that worked perfectly for this building. But it was so different and so odd, along with the stained glass, which I think that's great. But this is the inside. You've got your pews. And then you got your big stained glass in the back with the cross and whatnot. And then you can see the bell up there. And yeah, and then we got a little book. And at this moment, Moses knew he could flex on all the homies. I don't know what happened to the S, but it was there. And I don't know why we wrote that, but I didn't write that. It's by Moses. It's by, never mind. Okay. So yeah, that's the church. Moving on. We have a lot of these buildings, and I will spend more time in the unique ones, but at one point, Henry was just cranking these out, and it was like, whoa. Like, he was getting these up fast, and I don't know how he did it, but it was impressive. So, all right, so we'll zoom into this one. I don't really know the history behind these, so I'm just going to kind of be touring them. We got 2 beds and just, a nice little kitchen and table. Oh, yeah, and there's no doors. They need to be replaced because zombies destroyed them and got in. I don't know how, it just happened. All right, so in this one, we've got a little kitchen, a table, a little desk, and a bed up here. I really like this design. It's very compact, and I really like how the desk is under the stairs. That seems like something that you'd see in real life. Oh, hello. Okay, so now we'll move on to our next one. And I like how Henry made these all these houses kind of merge together over here, because it really gives it that city kingdom feel where it's just like on top of each other and just like it's a cool feel. So here we've got like a duplex kind of style. There's 2 staircases that come up on each side, and then you got your little patio in the middle. And then you have 1 door over here, 1 door over there. However, they connect, so you don't really have to use one or the other. Both sides have a desk, and then they both share their middle table in here. And then if we move to the floor above, we've got our beds here. And Henry even commented that these are a little strange placement, but due to the dimensions of this place, there weren't many options. So this is how it turned out, but I think it works. And then we've got our covered porches out here, which are actually very useful right now because all this rain that's coming down. But I really like how Henry did these covered porches. It's a great design, and it's got a great view of the city. But moving on, we'll go to the next house. This is the most talking I've done ever in my life. I've been doing so much talking that my jaw is like sore. Okay. I guess we'll do this one next. So this house has a table, a L couch, a bed, and a desk. And you guys will see the general theme of the same thing throughout these houses because we made these for villagers. So, I mean, they don't really need anything unique. But I still want to show y'all everything in this world. So this is how I'm going to do it. So if you want to fast forward through this part where I show these houses, go right ahead. But there are some cool different shapes that you might want to see. All right, so we got this one over here. And this one's got its little, this is a very small one. I think this might be the skinniest one in the city. But as you can see, we got our little kitchen here. We got our little table here. I'm sorry, dude. Like, you can't sit down, but yeah, that's just how it is. I'm gonna leave now. And then upstairs we got a desk and the bed. Okay, so now if we make our way behind this house, that's the one we were just in. Nice and skinny, as you can see. We have the house with the grand staircase. That's what I always call it because it's a very unique feature. And even just getting to the top of the staircase provides a nice view to the village. Inside, we've got our desk. I mean, not our desk. This is our table. Then we've got our kitchen over there. Oh, our bedroom over here. I've actually never been in this house, but I did not know Henry made doors to a bedroom. And then we've got more beds up here. So this is actually a 4-bedroom house with a desk. I did not know that, actually. All right. So now we're being close to finish with the houses on the inside. We just have a few more. Let's see. I don't believe we did this one yet. This one has a large wall below because there was actually a hill here at first. And actually, really far back, our friend Reagan got on the server when we first created it. And she actually had a house here and on the hill. And we destroyed the hill and her house and put these here instead. But yeah, so in this house, we have a bed, an LC. Ooh, we got a little coffee table this time. And a little chair or a little table section. All right, so now we'll shoot across over here. Now, I definitely like this one a lot. Like this is one of my favorite styles that Henry built because it's very well proportional. It's got one of these nice little porches, but it's not like it's not a super strange setup, but it's a cool setup. So you walk in, you've got an L seat couch. You've got your, booth tables, your kitchen, walk up the stairs, a nice clean staircase. You got your beds, and then you've got your balcony with a very nice view. You can even see out into the farmlands, which we'll get to in a second. But just in case you're curious, this is the most recent project on this world. So if you want to tune into the Survival Renovation Series, this is most likely what we're going to be working on if you tune into it, around this time. All right, so I think we have 2 more. So if we just walk past my house over here, up this little hill, these are our last 2. So this is actually the one that Henry's bunker is in. If we go above, this is actually what he uses for his main bed. I've been telling him for a while to relocate it, but he keeps coming up here. Up here we got our kitchen, bedroom, a desk, and our table. Just a nice, simple little house. And then below is where Henry's little place is. Over across the way, we have one of Henry's, I think this is the first one that he built. And it resembles the house that used to be right here, just a tad. Like it's much better and amped up, but there used to be a villager house, and that was actually what Henry lived in. and this just resembles it just slightly. So if we walk inside, we've got our kitchen, our desk, a much fancier table than we've seen before. I really like that. Funny that that's actually in the first one. I need to ask him about that. I wonder what made him do that. Then we got the bedroom over there. If we go upstairs, we have another bedroom, a little nightstand, and a porch, which I actually did not realize this house. Oh yeah, I guess it does. I guess when looking at it, I just didn't picture their porch right there. I don't know why, because it's quite obvious that there's a porch right there. Oh well. Okay, and then finally we have, this is actually the skylights for Henry's bunker. So just in case you were wondering what the orientation looks like from above, this is kind of the system he went from. You got these little quadrants over here. But yeah, so now we'll move to the town center, because the town center was a monumental part of this series for us. It was the second to last thing we did besides the church, but it really once we built this town center, it really tied in the whole city together and made it feel like a medieval village. Like, I mean, right here, come on, look at that. That just looks so cool. The only problem is this guy always wants to stand up here, so like we've tried to fix it and it still happens. But so we've got our little stands, and here we have a crafting table. This is actually for our use when we're on the go, and we can just craft right here. And then every other little stand has a workstation for a villager, so that we can have more useful villagers in the city. So if we just come through, we just tied up some horses too to add to the village effect. And then we've got this, the middle fountain, just because every village has a fountain in Minecraft, so we thought we would incorporate that. And it just it was something to start the center of it was something to base the town center off of. And we just built this first and then built everything around it. And I think it turned out really well. But so if we keep going around, you've got, all the houses surrounding. And we've got just a brewing stand, a grindstone, a fletcher or a fletching table, a cauldron, a loom, and so on. So that's it for the town center. But the town center ties right into the big tower. And this is the one tower I was talking about that is a little different from all the other towers. So the pattern on the outside of the wall actually, it's a one block alternating pattern. Just you can kind of just tell by like the way the top is. But there was one point, which was right here, where the two patterns we wrapped it around, and this is where the two patterns merged. And when they merged, they actually didn't line up correctly. There was, because it goes one block, skip a block, one block, skip a block. But when we got right here, it was one block, skip a block. So it didn't line up. So instead, we put a fat tower right here to just line it all up on the outside. As well as, since there was a hill here, the wall, we originally built it just this high. And I mean, there still is an elevation difference. If I quickly walk back here, see, it's still a hill. So that's why one side is taller than the other. But that's also where we decided to merge that and just put it into one spot, make it simple. So if we go into here, we have our two hallways that go from tower to tower. And then this is the door that leads out to the farmland, which we'll get to in a little bit. But if we climb up here, we have our first level, and this goes to our first level wall. There's nothing else on here, but if we climb back up one more level, we go to our second level wall, and this is just that elevation difference in walls. And this is how we get from one wall to the other. If we go up one more floor, we have an empty floor. And this floor, I've been trying to decide what we want to put here. If anybody's got suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, because I have no idea what to put here. And then if we go to the very top, we have two little towers because I had to make it symmetrical due to the weird width of this one. And then you've got a huge view of the village from above. And you can look all around and see, you can just see everything. Oh no. I can't remember if I took my elytra wings off or if they destroyed themselves. Hopefully I took them off, but we'll have to see because it's been a little bit since I've been on this world. Okay, so we'll run out here now. So this is what the last episode was this house right here, and Henry built this house right here. We constructed these pathways, and we've had a few errors due to creepers and whatnot. But these little cobblestone blocks represent each building we're going to build out here. And we might change the number depending on how big the buildings are. So we'll just have to see about that. This tower right here in particular is supposed to be a windmill. I personally was just thinking and brainstorming what we'd want in a farm area, and I thought of a windmill. And now I've just been really wanting to build this windmill. So we'll get to that soon. But eventually these are all going to be fields outlined with bushes, and I think it's going to look really cool. Hopefully we can keep it lit enough, like with lighting, not like the vibe. Hopefully we can keep it lit enough to where not many mobs spawn, because it's a mess out here. So many mobs spawn. If you've been watching this series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they've been blowing up parts of this house like crazy. But out here, we've got just the pathway runs from this front side over here all the way over there to the back side. And then we've got another cross section that goes just straight out to that wall over there. And we're going to make a highway, I think, that way eventually, because we have a redwood forest over there that's very useful for mining that spruce wood. Okay, so this is the house that I just built. If you haven't seen it already, I'm going to do a quick tour. But I really enjoy how this house turned out. You know, it's not the most detailed one that, I've built or whatnot. But it's simple, it's clean. And once I get that landscaping in, it's going to be perfect. So let's slide in real quick and check it out. So my plans for this are to just walk in. You have like a kitchen or something and whatnot. I have this for the farm villager. And then I'll have like a little, who knows, reading nook or living room over there with the fireplace right in the middle. Up here we have a huge ceiling, so I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to try and put columns, detail, who knows. And yeah, so I just think this place is going to be so cool when it's done. But that's it for now. And now I'll move on to Henry's house. Oh yeah, and also I want to quickly show the chimney. I just love that chimney. It's a clean design. If anybody's wondering, those are just upside down stairs wrapped around on the top. But it actually does a great job at putting, a little chimney effect. And if you want to spice that up, you can actually put you can put like pots on top of that. And it looks like little chimney towers. But unfortunately, I don't have any pots right now, so I cannot do that. Okay, so this is Henry's house that he just built. He actually built one before, like it's the same house. He just renovated it because he didn't like how it was before. And he's already done a little landscaping. But so if we walk in, you got your desk, a little kitchen area with shelves and a little light, a seating area, a bedroom, and then two outdoor like couches. It's a nice little setup. You have this nice porch with this nice little view. It's a nice little clean house. All right, so that about covers it for this outside area. We have a lot of work to do, and we'll start getting those videos out. But let's move on to the horse stables. All right, so to get to our horse stables, you just come over here to this intersection where the mine is between me and Henry and I's bunkers. And in this chest right here, there's mine carts. And once you come back, you just deposit it back in there. But you place the minecart down on this powered rail, and then you press this button right here, and you'll actually just zoom through that block right there. We just put that there to make things more straightforward. Under here, we've got like a little underwater tunnel because we had to go through a river, so you might as well make it clear because it looks cool, you know? So in here, this was actually one of the first things I built in the bunker. This was actually before Henry merged in, before we merged our bunkers kind of together. But actually, I think it was right when he started merging them together because I built it with his side and my side. Okay, so we just have another chest for the minecarts. So here's the stables. This is my side and this is Henry's side. So as you can see, Henry's side's a little empty, but he is working on that. He's just been trying to find the fastest and, you know, most strong horses possible. I actually got quite lucky and found this guy right here, White Lightning. I found him quite fast, and he is quite fast. So that's why I named him White Lightning. It's because he freaking zooms, and he can jump like so high. So I got him, and then I got Shrek's friend. I love that name. Oh gosh. But you know, it's a donkey. He's slow. But I mean, you gotta love the donkeys. Okay, and then this is just Henry's you know, horse storage stuff. And then we have a little highway coming from here, and this is just in a little mountain over here. Okay, so over here at the stables, we have this big tower, and I'm sure you saw it from multiple angles over in the main kingdom, from like in the background. But this tower over here is originally we made it because, oh shoot, I can't exactly remember the reason. There's another portal up there. It was something to do with the linking of nether portals. We didn't quite understand at the time how to link nether portals, but we figured out quite quick. But now, like, not quick enough for us to not build this tower. So there's actually this huge tower. I can't remember what the exact reason was that we needed it, or what we thought was going to work, which didn't end up working. Oh shoot. So if we just climb up here, it's really tall. But now what we use it for is either thumbnails or just looking over the kingdom, just to, you know, get an overhead view of it, because the kingdom looks really cool from up here. But also, it's just like a nice place to launch off with your elytra if you want to just go like a really far distance without using rockets. Otherwise, this tower is pretty much useless and a huge eyesore, but I still think it's a fun little object, so that's why we haven't destroyed it completely yet. And that's our nether portal up here. It's still just chilling up here. I'm not actually sure where it goes in the nether, but I'll figure that out one day. So this is actually the view from the kingdom above. It looks really cool. And while I'm up here, I'm just going to explain to y'all what our plans for the kingdom are. So as you can see, we have our outer farm section that we're working on now. This is all going to be farmland, and once that is finished, our plan is to move to this side right here. There won't be a wall on this side, but on this side, I think, oh, that could have been so bad. But on this side, we're just going to either have farmland or like war preparation areas, just something like that a kingdom would have. And then I'm going to try and landscape the front at some point and make it nice, but I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen, so just stay tuned for that. And I'm sure plans will change, but for right now, that's the idea of what's happening. Oh, that looks so cool. I actually haven't been up here since we put all the torches down, which do absolutely nothing against mob spawning. And I should have brought my elytra, but I didn't realize that it was gone until a little bit ago, and I forgot about that. So I guess I'll just quickly climb all the way back down, and we'll go into the nether, because I believe that is one of the last things I have to show y'all. Alright, so we finally made it to the nether portal. I went ahead and walked in. So when you first get to the nether, you are either greeted by this side or this side. Now, we have a lot of improvements to do to the Nether, but for right now, this is how it is. Basically, oh, I hear a ghast. Basically, we'll go this direction first because it is much shorter and easy to cover, and then we'll work our way the other direction because it is a very long walk the other direction. So this direction leads to our mob farms. We currently just have 2, besides the ones I've already covered, or the ones I've covered I'm about to build. So this portal right here brings us to a little room over here, and this is our zombie spawner. So basically, well, this is our zombie and spider spawner. So basically, right here, you can sit here and watch them spawn, and the water flows this direction and brings them into this little hole where it brings them up, over, back this way, and straight down into here. So in a little bit, I'll come back over here, and there should be some zombies sitting here. Oh, well, speaking of, there's one now. And we just have this little area right here just so you can get down below the half slab and hit them. And we have to have the half slab here for the baby zombies, or else they will be able to come and attack you. Okay, so if we go up this little staircase right here, we got very lucky, and there was actually a zombie spawner right next to a spider spawner. So if we walk over here, oh boy. So Henry was here last, and I think he just destroyed this block so he could get some XP. But as you can see, this one works quite well as well. There's just tons of spiders, and the spawner's over there, and they just roll this way and get pushed up against the side right here. And there's just hoppers right there to collect the items. And Henry destroyed this because when there's a block here, it blocks the XP from actually coming to you. So it's he's normally here for the XP, so it's kind of useless if he can't get that. All right, so. Oh my goodness. See, as you can see, the few seconds I've been here, there's already like tons over here. And I haven't used this new sword here. I definitely need to come back, because I keep dying and I keep losing all my levels, and I keep needing to enchant, but I can't because I have no levels. That was a quick a rant, but all right, back to what we were saying. So this is our original portal that we arrived in. We're just going to run through that real quick. This door right here. Okay, so this is the original cave that our Nether Portal spawned in before we made this huge tunnel for travel. This door is just so we can access it, but it leads to, I'll just give you a quick little tour. I just put this little entrance on it so you can tell where it was. But if you run down here, there's this steep little area. And we have 2 nether fortresses on the world. If we go down here, we have, well, this is, oh boy. Okay, so this is just a small little underground section that we have. And then you can go through a hole right over there, and it brings you to the big nether expanse. This is not, well, actually, we do have another fortress way that way. I'm not going to walk all that way because that would just not be, y'all don't want to see that. And there's not much to see there. But then our other nether fortress is also a good bit of ways away. But I'm going to just show you like where we enter the tunnel. And I'm going to have to find it because it's kind of like a maze. I believe if we walk down this way, it will be to our right here. Yes, so if you go down that way, you run right into another fortress. We pretty much just got lucky with that one. I was strip mining and just to discover new places, and I ran straight into that. And we are not on Java, and at the moment we don't have any nether updates on Bedrock, so there's no there's no piglins and whatnot. So it's just the usual nether as we've known for a good bit now. Here's another fortress that we also ran into. I think we've ran into 3 nether fortresses now. And this one I just dug through. I just made it look kind of like it was natural. All right, so we got a few road signs here. Okay, so let's see. We will come back to this because this will be a little more explaining and whatnot. But we'll go this way. So it says ice spike and wood biome, and I think y'all can decipher what that means. We've got our ice spikes biome over here, and we've also got where we go and get our wood. Now, as I was saying earlier, we do have that taiga redwood biome near us, and that's where I get most of my wood now. But if I want to get other types of wood, I go to this location here, and this is actually a really unique location because where you spawn in a huge oak biome, but so there's every type of wood around here. We've even got mushrooms over there. So that little boat is just a boat we leave here because on the other side of this lake over here, which is actually not that far, my render distance it's just maxed out right now on Xbox and it only goes so far. But there's a dark oak wood biome over that way. And then there is a spruce biome over this direction, which me and Henry and I have actually just straight demolished that thing. Like it's basically a field now. So that's why we moved to the redwood biome, is because it's way more efficient. But then there's a birch biome that direction, and I think, wait, am I forgetting something? Oh, jungle. Okay, the jungle one is not here. I know I said every wood biome or whatever, but the jungle one is not here. Okay, I apologize, but but we do have a jungle biome. The problem is you do have to get there by foot, which is kind of a pain. Okay, so that covers our little wood portal. It's just a nice place to get wood far away from the main world so we don't destroy the land that we have over near the kingdom. So this direction is the ice spike. So this is a cool little pathway because we actually ran to the open, nether world. So I put these little windows here just so you could see what was happening on the outside. And I mean, there's huge lava lakes over here. Like they just go and just never end, like that one over there. Is that another fortress? Is that one we've already discovered? Let's see the pathway. Oh yeah, that's the one we already discovered. Okay, so here's our ice spike portal. So if I quickly walk into this, we will be teleported right out here perfectly onto the ice spikes. So I still need to get packed ice for the transportation method, where you put a boat on ice and you fly through the nether. However, I've just not got around to doing that, so for now we just have this here and we haven't really used it. And I need to do a little exploring here because I discovered it back in the day, but I never actually looked to see if there's an igloo or anything. So one day I need to walk around and explore it, but I have a good feeling. I feel like igloos don't spawn in these. I think they have to be on land. Don't quote me on that, but that was just an assumption. Alright, so now I'm going to make my way to the end portal and show y'all what is happening there. Alright, so we made it to the end portal. So down this little hallway, we have the portal that actually goes to the Stronghold. But next to that, we actually have a very accessible blaze spawner underground, which I don't actually know how we ended up with this, but it was in the perfect location. Like, I mean, they can't even escape. Oh, wait. Yeah, they can't even escape. So it's just here. We need to use this more often. But so let's go into the Stronghold. Alright, so when you spawn in the Stronghold, it looks like this. And over here is where we mine our cracked and mossy stone brick blocks for the village. But if we go this direction and just follow, I think, the granite path, I don't know. I just have the path memorized, but I think we marked it with granite. Yeah, we did. Then we get to this area over here. Well, we've got some silverfish spawning. So let's just kill those. We've got our end portal over here. And we don't have much in here, but I'll go ahead and just jump in and show y'all. Just because we can quickly get back to the main world through here. That was an attempted Enderman farm. I haven't figured out Enderman farms, so those are still in the works and whatnot. But if we just climb up here, you can see where we defeated the Ender Dragon, as well as where we go to the or what are they called? The islands or whatever. That is amazing. We love flying through there and just finding tons of diamond loot and whatnot. And our current Enderman portal farm is just sitting in that little hub right there and just hitting them and looking at them, and they'll just come to you. It's not a crazy method for XP or Ender Pearls, but it works. So I'm gonna just quickly just jump back into the portal, and now we're home. All right, and I just sat down and kind of thought about everything, and I think that I covered everything on the world. I really hope I did, because I would be very disappointed if I missed something. But there's just so much, I'm bound to miss something. But so yeah, that was probably the most talking I've done in my life. But I did it. Okay. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Definitely tune in to the Survival Renovation Series if y'all have not yet. And I guess I'll see you next time. Peace out.